Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on the Daily Color Big in Romantic Country working on the camping page. I am officially going to be coloring the most intimidating for me object I have colored thus far on the Daily Color. It is this tent. So I had said that I grew up with two tents, a yellow tent and a blue tent. So I am going to make this a blue tent. And my goal will be to make it somewhat aged and not pristinely clean. So we will see if I can accommodate all of those things. We've got some light source angles to deal with the different panels. My light source, you can see we've got the tree back here, and the light source is coming from back over here, which means my left side will be darker, my right panels will be lighter, and I've got my blues here, light to dark. They will be in the description, and then I have some added colors as well. Let's see how well we do. We're going to get started. I do have another coloring group meeting not too far from now, so I am limited on time. Pleasant Blue is the lightest, DG149, BW107, Forget Me Not, Blue Horizon, SC17. You have to look at the tip for Blue Horizon because two of them, Blue Horizon and Forget Me Not. Look at those two tips. We've got light, a little bit darker, and a little bit darker yet. Then I have Storm Blue MN64 and Blue Moon MN042. So I'm going to have these in my hand. I am going to get started on them, and I am going to use Posca to change my 3 lines to white at some point in the coloring. I did do a mock-up of this on my copy paper. I had to use my rough Bristol vellum copy paper because copy paper, not copy paper. I had to use my coloring paper because these pencils do not do well on copy paper for whatever reason. So yeah, I'm starting with the darkest color and doing some blocking in. I am okay. This is a canvas material, so I am okay with there being lines. I am going to be copying one technique Chris Cheng did, just a casual reference to it, and we will get to it here fairly soon, and I will point it out when that time comes. What I am trying to do is to get some colors blocked in. Okay, so down here, I am making some fabric pull lines. Here's where the tent stakes are. So we will be fleshing those out. I didn't feel that I was going to be able to make this look very smooth, so I wanted to embrace some lines. And I can do some erasing. I do have my kneaded eraser and my mono zero, as well as the electric eraser. I will try to not move my coloring book too much. I am not in the recliner. This was too large of an area, and I need to keep my hand moving in nice big lines to fill in the space quickly and efficiently. So I'm doing these pretty casually. They don't really look anything like my mock-up did. I'm just letting the pencil flow and come up with a shape, and then I'm just going to enhance it. It's the same technique that I use for animal fur. I kind of let my strokes, it's not like I'm looking at a photo and trying to mimic exactly what I see. It's very sketchy, and I hope that I can do some nice filling in. Okay, so this is my shadow side. Okay, I'm going to leave that as it is at the moment. And now I'm going to go back and work on this side. This side is not in light either. This side is in light. This side is not. This paper is very smooth compared to the rough paper I was working on, so I'm having to adjust, and I have a couple of funky lines. I'm going to leave the lines for now because it's such a big space that it might just all balance itself out. That is going to be in shadow. This is all in shadow.
This is all in sun here, at least in my interpretation. Oh my gosh, the squirrels are so entertaining these days. And then I had like a whole flock of doves today at the feeder. It was very fun to listen to them chatter away. I'm still on the darkest pencil, by the way. I am going to, this will be in shadow right here. Each panel sinks in. I see, I told you I was going to try not to move the book. When I want to get a sketchy, long stroke, very light, like a color block effect, notice how far back my hand is on the pencil. Way back there. All right, I am going to, so I've used the darkest color, and that is it. Because now I want to take my Posca. I am using the larger PC3M bullet shaped 0.9 to 1.3. Oh, I keep moving that. I want you to see the top and the bottom. I'm not really sure what these dark ovals are on the seams. I probably should have started with the farthest away, huh? Because now I can't touch that one that I just did. Okay, I am moving my chair around over here so that I do not accidentally touch that far line. So I did post last night as promised. I found 3 sets of pencils that I would love to color the hummingbird in. And they're ones I haven't used lately. Evazar was the very first set that I colored with. It was number 1 of round 5. Holbein's, I added 58 pencils to my collection, so I haven't used them for anything since I have gotten them. In fact, I haven't actually swatched them yet. So if they are chosen, that will be an adventure. I'll just be going through. I think I have put them all in the book, and I went ahead and went with color order. I love colored pencil sets that have their numbering system already in an order that makes sense. I don't have to have it be perfect. I know some people want to do their own, but it just saves so much time, and the numbers on them make sense to me. I am a numbers person, so in a couple of cases where I've just numbered them 1 through whatever, once they were in color family order, I love that. And these actually are somewhat ordered 1 through whatever. I don't think it's number 1, but it starts at a low number and increases as it goes through the color families. And then the third set of, I've already said, the Brutfuner flower boxes, I feel like I haven't used them enough. I never feel like I use them enough. So that is now, these black lines, I can now work on them to become light colored lines that I hope fairly soon here will all make sense to you guys. The Poscas, you do have to add a couple of layers to completely block the lines. I'm going to be picking up the darkest again. I'm not picking up all of them this time. I am just holding the darkest blue. I'm not sure overall how detailed I want the tent to be because it's not in the foreground. It's kind of like the trees where I didn't want to get too specific. I just want to hint. Make some hints. Oh, and look at this. I am holding my pencil a little bit closer now. Like halfway closer than it was. Because now I'm going into more specific strokes. I am wanting to bring out the poles, the whatever the is making the teepee shape. I am just looking at my lines and following them. Like I said, I didn't try to mimic any specific lines that I already had on the rough. I'm just trying to give the look of fabric. I do have a couple of extra colors. Let's work on this line. Can you see? I do appreciate that I have a really good sitting area and a nice sitting chair to use. I bought this chair when we moved here. I had been using a very old chair. Oh, very old. I brought the chair that I had been in for the 7 years in the trailer. We had it in storage, and after the first trailer accident, I lost a new chair. And so I pulled from storage this really old Naugahyde chair, and that's what I used for the last 6 years. So it was deep leathering, you know, all of the fake leather was peeling off. So when we moved here, it was time. And Hub bought this chair in black, and I thought it was quite comfy. It was on sale at Staples. And so I got a blue one. Well, it's white. Actually, instead of black, it's white, and it has blue cushions. And then I found that the cushioning, because I wear shorts and tank tops every day, all day, I found that this fabric is a little bit prickly on my legs. So then I bought a soft muslin blanket, just a thin one, a cotton one, to put over it. And that's what I have been using, and it's very comfortable. I do my card making here as well as the card videos. I don't get to craft in a chair. Card making is way too messy for that. I hope you guys are seeing where I'm emphasizing the, I don't know what I would call this, if this a pole. It's kind of loose, so it's just being pulled, and then in between here these big panels are bowed, and that is the appearance I am going for. It's funny, I haven't even, on my mock-up, I changed the blue colors to the different shades. But I have not felt inclined yet to move past this very dark blue. It's way softer than it was on the Nina. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm kind of liking my sketched in color blocked look, but I want to make sure that I have it look, you know, like it was used outside. And you know what? You guys are all way too bright. I apologize for that. I do not know how long it's been overexposed. So I can't go redoing all of that, but now you can actually see the blue. I get really focused and forget to look through the camera. All right, so that's not looking too bad. I have an eraser here. And this is Poscud up here. I'm just fixing my line, and I might have to reapply the pos color. We'll see. That is better. All right, before I add any more blues, I am grabbing Tarantula BW31. If you guys are Tim Holtz people and you've done distressed ink work, this was my closest to vintage photo, which was kind of the color I was shooting for, to give it the kind of aged, dirty look. I don't want it to be pristinely clean. I think most of the time today is going to be spent kind of blocking all of this in. And then my goal is to not have to work it to the point of realism. I just want it to look like a nice tent for a backdrop, and I don't want to spend a ton of hours on it. Let's make sure we're not overexposed anymore. That's what happens. It got sunny and it went bright on me. This particular camera does that. And now it's back to overcast again. I'm trying to work all of the panels together to make sure that my lay down is equal on all of the panels. Like if I know some people when they're working will do one area at a time. I am not the best at that. I prefer to get it sketched and then go back through, slowly increasing colors on the whole image. Make sure everything is even. So my theory with the tent, and there's a person in front of the tent, and the fireplace in front of the tent, is it's far enough away from the tent, I think, and the light source, again, is over here. So I don't think that the person and the fire are casting a lot of shadow. I think the person can have a little bit of a shadow, but not a lot. Okay, now that's enough soft brown. I'm going to go with the next color of blue. So now it's going to brighten up a little bit. We have Storm Blue 64, MN64. This might actually be darker, even though the barrel tells me that it is lighter than the color I started with, which was an N42 Blue Moon. This already is looking darker, but I have now where I'm coloring already has a base. Gotta watch my time. I'm quiet. I am focusing. I do also have a gray. Again, look at the placement of the hand on the barrel, wanting to make sure my pressure stays super light. I'm going to make myself do one lighter. Blue Horizon SC17. I'm just going to move on to Forget Me Not BW107. So this is the panel that seems to have the most light on it. And I need to come down in here and give it some color. This is to the second to the lightest blue. Have I shifted too far? Not too far. Okay, I have one more blue. We have Pleasant Blue DG149. This is the lightest blue. I'm looking at the palette here. It might be DG149. There it is right there. And I think that is the lightest that has the blue, like the robin egg blue. DG150 if I needed to go any lighter. But I have a tan. And a darker brown. And I already showed you Tarantula. That was kind of the vintage photo brown, which I need to go through and do another coating of it. This is a completely different style of coloring than doing small images in small victories, which is why I'm really glad that I decided to start doing a bit of a big series where I'm doing full-size images in larger spaces. All right, how are we doing for time? Okay, so I have to wrap up and do final prep for coloring group today. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you are seeing the tent fleshed out. It is possible that I will either come in and do a little more with the tent, or what I might do is jump onto the grass and then do a little tent at the end. So that is my plan. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, and we will do this all again tomorrow. I hope to see you there.